Team Kid Flash is on the case.
Son, I love you, but ain't nobody feeling Team Kid Flash.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash, Season 5. So throughout Season 4, one of the major complaints about the show, even though I don't think it was the biggest issue, was of course based around Iris West and the role that she played. Now, there will be a never-ending argument between people that either love Iris West no matter what she does, like Iris West when she is done well, but are critical when an error is made with the character, and then the opposite of that first option, which is of course those that hate Iris West no matter what she does. That includes saving kittens and puppies at the same time. Personally, I fall in that second option. I liked Iris in Season 1 and 2 and some of Season 3. I thought they were nailing how a TV show version of Iris should be done. Sure, there were some moments where you were like, okay, that's out there, but I will let that slide. But for the rest of the time, you were like, yeah, this is good, it fits well. But when Season 3 turned into a let's save Iris and spend all of the season doing it and then have the lamest ending of all time thing, it was just, frustrating to watch. Now, as I have said in multiple videos in the past, none of this is on Candice Patton. It's none of her fault. For those that don't know, she is the actress who plays Iris West. I think she is a gem, and she actually does really well with terrible material. Her character and how she takes that average, if not awful writing, and does something good with it, does remind me of moments with Laurel Lance on Arrow just before she was randomly killed off. Now, Season 4 put Iris in a position that just felt not natural in the sense of the show, that is. We start Season 4 off and Iris is leading Team Flash, which just caught everyone off guard, whether that be in a good way or a what the hell is going on here way, and then the oh my god, ban my television, lol jokes, I'll just remove my eyeballs to save time way. You can decide what reaction you had. And personally, by the midway point of the season, I was okay with Iris being the leader, and the reason for that was because I'd actually seen her lead for a while, which put me in the position of, to go, yep, just let her lead. She's a decent leader. Now, I really wouldn't be able to tell you whether that is because I think it worked, her being the leader, or because I just got used to it. It's one of those two, but I wouldn't be able to tell you which one it was. But that's the real issue behind the negative reaction to it. We were just thrown into Season 4 with Iris being the leader and a lot of random focus on her, and that focus a decent amount of the time was not necessarily essential to the story. It just felt like they were just focusing on her for the sake of it. It felt like they were just shifting things around to accommodate that, which just annoyed people as it was just out of the blue for the most part. What the show should have done in Season 4 is just had Iris West, work herself into that leadership position. I mean, if you look at how Season 4 played out, there was the perfect opportunity to work a storyline in there where Iris wasn't the leader to start off with and could have been elsewhere trying to move forward with her life from the event that occurred at the end of Season 3 with Barry going into the Speed Force, but it just felt like they were lazy and just wanted to rush it. This season we had Cisco dealing with stuff, Caitlin dealing with a lot of stuff, and Wells dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, who had the time to lead in Season 4? Like, no one. Like Ralph, but he didn't join until like episode 5 or something, and I don't think you'd make Ralph leader when he's been on the team for 2 seconds. So the story should have been that Iris wasn't with Team Flash whilst Barry was stuck in the Speed Force, and she is brought back by the others as they reveal their plan to get Barry out of the Speed Force. But due to everyone else dealing with stuff throughout the season that followed, she is the one to bunker down and control things. I mean, she wasn't doing any journalism stuff. But going forward, what is going to happen with Iris West? Are they going to keep her on the same path that is a very mixed reception from the fans that are watching? Or are they going to change it up and try and accommodate everyone that watches the show and give us a balanced show? Well, let's go over some comments from Candice Patton over the past week that gave us an idea as to what they could be doing with the Iris West character come Season 5 of The Flash. Now, this is coming from this event, I would guess you would call it. Like, it was called Pop Sugar Playground. Yeah, that was the name. So I don't know if it's an event or not or something like that. It's definitely no Comic-Con. But anyway, Candice Patton was asked a few things about Iris in Season 5. Now, the first thing has to do with Nora Allen and her arrival. For the arrival of Nora, Candice said Iris and Barry are pretty much in WTF mode. Her daughter being there will be interesting, and she's wondering how it'll affect the time continuum. It also means Iris will have to be pregnant at some point, etc. Now, quickly on that, Candice does mention Iris being pregnant at some point. Now, I'm sure anyone that watches like various TV series in the past that has had babies with main characters, it's not a very good idea. What I'm hoping the show will do, not only because it works better and isn't an issue, but also because because it is easier to make, is to just have Iris get pregnant in the last season. So the last season of The Flash, whether it's season 7, season 9, season 10, season 11, I don't know, have her get pregnant then. The biggest issue around this is whether they reveal Nora's age on the show. We know that Nora is from around, I think, or maybe exactly 30 years in the future, but we don't know her exact age, whether she's 24, 27, 29, or 30. So when we find out that, we can do some quick math and figure out when Iris should get pregnant. Let's hope it isn't for a few years, just for the sake of the show, so we get a few more seasons of The Flash before she gets pregnant. But this is what Candace had to say about Iris and her journalism side. For journalism, Candace is a bit nervous to see how they're going to do that with Star Labs in the mix, but she thinks it has the potential to be great if the writers do it right, so we'll see. Now, Candace Patton in the past couple of seasons, when talking about Iris West and her journalism story, hasn't been confident in what she was saying, with a lot of vague answers to various questions, which I don't blame her for, because there is a real lack of focus on that side of the character, and which is weird because it's a pretty big part of the character. I mean, Barry has his Flash side, Iris has her journalism side, and when you take that away, you get a fairly average typical character. Not much special there, which I guess is what leads to some of the ridiculous things we saw with the character in parts of season 3 and 4. Like, they took away that journalism thing, what are you going to make Iris do? I do like how Candace had a little dig at the writer's room there by saying if the writers do it right, suggesting that, well, they don't get it right a lot of the time, especially with the Iris character. I found that funny. But Candace does talk about mixing in Star Labs and the journalism side. And I know many of you would be like, no, are you mad? No mixing, just make it full on journalism or nothing. Which I can understand. However, completely kicking Iris out of the Star Labs would basically be the same as the beginning of season 4, where she was all of a sudden the main person in Star Labs. It's one extreme to the other. How I would like to see it play out is that she is still in Star Labs at the beginning of season 5, doing her thing, but as season 5 progresses, her role gets more and more split with her journalism story and her journalism side, eventually leading to the end part, or maybe the last quarter of season 5, where the majority of her time is with, CCPN or whoever that might be. That, honestly would be the best for the character and would please everyone if I think hard enough, unless you completely hate the character. And I feel that Candace Patton deserves decent material because it is pretty hit and miss with Iris and her writing. And obviously Candace Patton does have the chops and the acting chops to actually deliver, good acting. So it'd be good if she actually had some decent material for once and she's not working with, well, crap. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions. How would you like to see Iris handled in season 5 of The Flash? Would you like basically how I said I would like it, mixing it with Star Labs for a bit and then it works off slowly, or would you just like an extreme where we start season 5 and she's just doing her journalism thing and no Iris and Star Labs for the most part? Just let me know all of your opinions in the comment section down below. I can't speak English. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.